I felt really, really trapped inside my body because I had no fitness, and
I started working out at home because I was too intimidated to go to a gym.
My body still wasn't in a place of recovery because
you can vouch
you just ate sweets.
I've actually changed my intro, do you know that? Like a little bit. I feel like the channel bit is really annoying.
What channel bit?
Do you know that I go back to my channel? I just feel like
did you change
so
it?
Annoying.
It's quite young.
Yeah, so I've started saying, hello beautiful friends and welcome back.
I like it. It's very grown up. My child is growing up. My little child.
I was starting to annoy myself, like watching back my intro, even though some people I have had said. So
you started your channel so young.
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
But some people said they missed the channel bit, but sure, look, we're growing up.
We did it there briefly.
So today I'm joined by my beautiful sister, Melanie Murphy.
That's me.
And we haven't collabed in quite a while, but we do actually have something super exciting coming very, very, very soon. Do you want to tell the friends?
It's a little bit of a podcast.
Just a little bit of a podcast.
Because, there's a nice age gap between us, so I feel like there's going to be like, a
lot of clash, different opinions, a bit of banter, a bit of arguments, a bit of everything really, sisterly love. But yeah, I'd love for you guys to let us know like your kind of favourite podcasts down in the comments below, like podcasts that you listen to quite regularly.
This is lazy research. Today we are, do you want to tell them what we're doing?
So basically, I'm sure you guys know, I filmed my ab workout routine a couple months ago, and the top requested video under in the comment section of that is to film a video talking about my fitness journey. So I roped my sister in, and we're both going to talk about our fitness journey in today's video, because I just thought it would be a little bit interesting, our differences.
Yeah, we have very different experiences with fitness, and like today we both went and worked out. We worked out yesterday, like we both are very into keeping active and stuff like that, but we come from very different places with it. So like, what are your main goals with exercise, first of all?
So my main goals would be like to put on muscle and put on like a little bit of weight, because obviously to put on muscle you do have to put a bit of weight on.
But also mental health stuff. I know that you always say to me you feel a lot better.
Oh yeah, exercises. No, that's the main reason why I exercise. Sorry, I thought you meant like.
Oh yeah, no, but that ties in.
Yeah, no, I've always said that like the main reason why I work out isn't for physical appearance, it's for mental, like completely 100%.
I think like mine was physical appearance for years and years and years, because I gained a lot of weight when I was younger. I went from being like a very kind of average, comfortable teenager, just kind of eating whatever and not really caring that much about my body, to like, I was always very aware of my body, and I used to like, I'd read magazines where it's like Britney Spears does 1,000 crunches a day for her abs, so I would like try and do that, and but I never really had like a fitness regime, because in school I used to play sports and all. But anyway, I gained a ton of weight when I was 19, and then I went to the doctor, and he was just like, you're like just on the cusp of being obese, and you're going to get diabetes and all this if you don't change your lifestyle. And oh god, I was so unfit, guys. I couldn't even walk. It should have been for my health at that point, but I think hearing like an older man say to me like, you're really fat, like that affected me in a really bad way, and I kind of just wanted to like lose all of the weight I'd put on, and the health stuff kind of came in later for me, but now it's so much like a balance. It's like I feel my best when I'm looking after how I look, but also the endorphins you get. Even today we got from the gym. Tell them what I was like when you walked in earlier. Remember?
I got out of the shower and I came in, and I was expecting Melanie to be getting ready to film, and she was just like lying under the covers in the bed in her dressing gown, and she just goes, I'm so relaxed.
I just felt high.
Yeah, you just felt so happy. But so basically going back to like the beginning with me is when I first started working out, it would have been for mainly physical appearance as well. I was doing it for the wrong reasons. So I'm going to take it back to the beginning. So when I was in school, I did used to play sports. I played.
What did you do? I did
basketball.
Team.
I was so good because I was tall.
Yeah.
I used to do
I was
running.
Shit, but
I was really good. I was such a good runner because my legs are so long. And I used to play soccer and Gaelic, but I kind of stopped playing that after a number of years because I just felt like all the other girls were better than me, and I never felt good enough.
Yeah, I was crap. I was never picked for the team. Like I was on the basketball
last
team.
One. I was always. Do you know the way like they'd line everyone up and they'd be 2 team captains and they'd be picking their teams? I'd always be one of the last, and I'd just be like, this is so embarrassing. I used to like try and skip PE as much as I could, especially as I got older in school. Like I was like 15, 16. I started hating PE because it was like like this competition, and like I was like comparing myself to other girls' bodies at PE and stuff, you know, and they'd come in like all these tight leggings and like, you know.
I hated PE for like different reasons. I was just really lazy as a teenager, and like I would walk in and out of school, and I think that walk was probably about half an hour or maybe 40 minutes.
I just used to feel very self-conscious during set PE.
Oh.
But yeah, I never used to exercise until I'd say I first started exercising. So I'm 21 now. I first started exercising, I'd say, when I was like 16, 17, but it was like just cardio. Like I got into this point where I kind of went through a really bad point of body dysmorphia.
Yeah, I remember.
And I just got obsessed with like the walking and running and the number and food and like looking at how many calories would be in something, even though like I hadn't a clue.
I remember when as well you went on a pill and you gained a stone or something, and you were like, Melanie, I'm after getting so big and all, and it was just like in your head. I was like, Jessie, like you look the same, and you'd put on probably a stone, and you were really self-conscious of it because it happened so quickly.
But I wasn't seeing me in the mirror.
Yeah,
I was seeing like a distorted image of myself. Do you know what I mean? Which is like exactly it. But yeah, so for the first couple of years when I started working out, it was just solely cardio based. Like we have a bike at home. Like, do you know the bike you sit on and you just pedal? Like was
it all just about burning calories?
Yeah, it was like looking at the number on the bike. Right, I'm like 300 calories, 400 calories, and like I'd like. That was the only thing, you know? And I never used to go to the gym. The gym terrified me.
Oh, yeah.
The thought of going to the gym absolutely terrified me. I remember once I went to the gym with, like, my first ever boyfriend. And I went in and I walked on the treadmill for 30 minutes and I had to leave because I was, like, so anxious.
All my first experiences in the gym were so negative as well. Same. Because I wasn't there for good reasons. Like, I had, you know, gone up all this size or whatever, and I got these new workout clothes that fit my new body, my new bigger body with my massive boobs. And, you know, I remember I was on a treadmill and I caught a glimpse of my reflection in my peripheral vision, and I did not realize it was me. Like, I didn't recognize it as me at all. I was kind of like, you know, oh my god, that's me. Like, I just thought it looked like someone 30 years older than me. Do you know what I mean? I felt so trapped. I felt really, really trapped inside my body because I had no fitness, and I didn't even know how to go from here, where I would go on a walk with my dad and I'd get out of breath really quickly.
Yeah.
And I was like, how do I get from there to being able to, like, you know, run races and things like that? And like, I just had no clue. And I think I wish what I had done a lot earlier was get like a PT just for a couple of sessions to go through stuff.
I wish the same, but they're so expensive. You know, like, I wouldn't have been able to afford them back then. I'm sure you wouldn't have been able to afford them back then. Also, to say, just in regards to the way I'm talking about, you know, them couple of years when I first started, like 16, whatever, when it was just cardio, my diet was awful. And you can vouch
You
for
just
this.
ate sweets
all
day.
And processed food and chocolate and sweets. And No, okay, she's making me sound really bad. Like, I had my porridge in the morning.
Really
Mom would, like...
This is before you had the porridge. You used to have, like, chocolate cereal.
Oh, yeah, okay. I used to have, like, Cocoa Pops and stuff. But, like, I would, like, my mom would cook dinners and good dinners. But apart from the dinners, like, my diet was not good. Yeah, I wasn't, like, eating well, and then I was just kind of, like, over-exercising cardio-wise. So what was your diet and your...
Oh, I ate really badly around that time, but, like... You know, when I was kind of trying to lose weight, I just didn't understand. Fitness for me, initially, just wasn't a thing within itself. It was like a means to an end. It was like, if I burn all these calories, I will get magically back to this size, and then I'll stop, and I won't have to do this horrible thing anymore. And I didn't, because I didn't enjoy it. I wasn't doing things that I liked doing at all. Like, I didn't like just going to the gym, and at the time the gym was the worst thing for me. So kind of eventually I realized that, and I accepted, like, right, the gym environment isn't good for me. Like, you know, like walking on a treadmill, I was like, I prefer being outside. I like dancing when there's no one in my house. So like, I signed up to Zumba classes, and so I would always do it like outside, or I'd go to a Zumba class, and that was my exercise for the whole time I was losing weight. And I did really enjoy them, and I kind of built up to, like, I remember the first time I ever was like, right, I'm gonna go for a jog. I got like a minute, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna die. Like, I literally, because your lungs, like your cardiovascular your ability to do any cardio exercise is just shot to shit when you've not been keeping it up. So I couldn't at all. And I remember, so then I treated it, I'd call it a walk jog, like a walk jog. So I would jog for as long as I could, and then I'd stop. And then I'd jog for as long as I could, and then I'd stop. So initially, that was a half an hour where I would do like 1 minute jogging, 6 minutes walking, 1 minute jogging, like, so I could barely jog. And that built up over, I'd say, maybe a year or a year and a half to where I could jog for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I remember, like, I kept going with that. I did kind of start getting the runner's high, and I started getting super into running and stuff after a while, like, from mentally, because I was then in university, and it just really helped me to kind of like, right, for this hour I'm in the zone, you know. Yeah, then I started developing really bad body issues again, and like eating problems, like eating disordered eating. So the exercise then was tainted by that again, because
I kind of had the same thing.
I didn't heal myself.
Yeah, because when I was doing, like, for them couple of years where I was just doing cardio, like I was doing like bike, walking, running, like body, you know, hit, like whatever, I kept going through phases where I do it for a number of months and I'd stop, and then I do, because
yeah, you're all in or you're all out.
Yeah, I wasn't consistent in it because I wasn't enjoying it, and I was doing it for the wrong reasons. So I was doing it because I had such a distorted image of my body, and I was just so depressed in myself. So it wasn't like, for example, now, like I get a lot of questions as to how do you find the motivation, how do you keep doing it, and how, you know, you have to do it for the right reasons. The only reason I am consistent now, and have been for a couple of years, is because I do it for my mental health. I am not doing it for to look a certain way. Of course, now I have like goals in mind I would like to achieve, like I would like to grow a bum and all these things, but the main reason I will get up and work out is for my head.
Yeah.
And that is something I think that you need.
When you reap the other rewards of exercise, it becomes a different thing completely. And like, you know, I danced in and out of exercise routines, even the whole time I had my YouTube channel, like, and I was in eating disorder recovery. I'd been mentally kind of recovered, but like, you know, my body still wasn't in a place of recovery, because I had to essentially kind of like just let myself eat whatever I wanted for a few years and not worry too much about my body at all, you know, like, because with the body dysmorphia, like, if any of you experience that, like, it is shit, and you need to completely learn over time to detach exercise as this thing that you have to do. Like, we're built to move. We're built to move. Even if you're in a wheelchair, you should be doing like arm workouts. Like, I know people who've, like, they broke their leg or whatever, but they'll still figure out ways to be active, because our bodies are designed to be active. And I think, like,
people think of it as a punishment or as a chore, but it shouldn't be that. And if that is what it is for you, it's because it's for the wrong reasons, or you're doing the wrong thing. You're not, you know, there's so many different ways to exercise, and it's about finding like what suits you and what you enjoy. But yeah, going back
so I was dancing in and out of exercise anyway through the whole time I was on my YouTube channel. Like, I'd be like, let's all do the 30-day shred together, and then like after that month it's like back to doing nothing. And then I'd go in and out and in and out and in and out, and it is common to kind of lose motivation sometimes, and like that is quite normal. Like, life changes, you know, if you're moving house, you're going into a new course, things are going to change. But I have been consistent with fitness for 2.5 years, and like a massive turning point for me in how I viewed exercise and in my fitness journey was getting with my current partner and my fiance. Like, he's been doing powerlifting for years and years and years and years and years, and you know, I would be around him and he would be kind of just eating whatever and like not really caring that much about his body and stuff like that, but he would just he treated training and going to the gym as like almost like mental training as well, because it's like, you know, if I'm able to like lift X amount, like that makes me feel really powerful, and that makes me feel like, wow, I can do that thing. And when you set those kind of challenges for yourself, your brain builds up this kind of like iron fortress as well. And like I just kind of observed him for a bit, and then I was kind of like, I want to experience that part of his life, you know. A big part of it was like that whole compromise in a relationship where you're like, you know, if I want to go to films, like I love movies, so I want to go to the cinema a lot more often than he would, and he'll go with me. So I kind of was just like, I offered to like start going to the gym with him, and I was kind of fairly, I'd say, chubby. Like, I don't think chubby's a bad word, but I was quite chubby when we got together, and I was really happy with my body, you know what I mean? Like, I was fine about my body at the time, you know. It wasn't necessarily, you know, I wouldn't look at it and go like, wow, I've accomplished so much with this body, like, because I didn't really do anything with it, but I was like, this gets me from A to B. You know, I feel healthy because I was eating really well.
Happy in yourself.
I was happy, I was eating really well. My body and my cravings from my eating disorders had balanced out. But anyway, started working out, and I discovered weights. and this is something we get asked about a lot, is
Yeah.
the weight section in the gym being very intimidating as a woman, because it's full of like all these muscly men who know what they're doing.
Yeah, it's a question I get a lot. I think as well, like, the first time I ever went to a gym, I literally, like, and I went into, like, you know, the where all the weights and all the machines are, and I literally, like, walked around, like, my heart beating out of my chest, because I was looking at these machines. I didn't know what they did. I didn't know how to use them. Like, I'd pick up, like, a 2 kg weight, and I was like, this is heavy. Like, this is heavy. I remember when I first started going to the gym, I really didn't do a whole lot. Like, I was sticking with the little weights, and I was just doing very basic movements, like squats, or, you know, like...
Yeah, because you think those big ones are for the men, you know?
Yeah, and they're not. Like, it's... Like, I remember me and Melanie went into the gym. Basically, there's, like, one of the rooms is basically male dominant. Like, you know, it's all...
Oh, yeah, just all guys. It's all, like, the big weights and the squat racks and the bench press and, like, the deadlift section.
It is very intimidating when you're starting out, and, you know, you want...
Yeah, because I didn't even know what a deadlift was.
Same.
Like, you need to do...
research.
A lot of research. Yeah, you need to self-educate, watch a bunch of videos by professionals, like not just these Instagram models, like, you know, actual trainers, and then ask the people in the gym,
the personal trainers. Yeah, I did that a lot.
They're so helpful.
If you're unsure on how to do a movement or something, just ask. Because I did that before. I didn't ask because I was too anxious to ask, but I was doing certain movements wrong. And, you know, if you're doing exercises wrong, you're not going to see any results.
Even till recently, like I was telling you today, even till recently I was doing hip thrusts wrong, which is just an exercise move with a bar, and it's for like your legs and your bum, and I was doing it wrong. There's years in the learning process of training, like with weights or anything like that, and we're not saying like you have to go and do that. What we're saying is like that's something we both really enjoy is doing weights, and I do high intensity interval training as well. Sometimes I'll go for a jog, sometimes I'll walk. Essentially now I make a goal to be a bit active at some point every day, even if it is just walking, because it is so good for my brain. I feel better about my body when I'm exercising. I just do. In the gym, I, for the first year and a half, didn't have a plan. I would just go and do stuff for 40 minutes or an hour. And Thomas was always like, I love the way you exercise. Like, you just come here and you don't, you know, you'll be like, right, I'll put a bit of that weight on, a bit of that, you know, I'll do a few sets of that.
You should have a plan though, because
I
was like that too. When I first started working out, I didn't have a plan.
It's kind of good though to practice.
Learn. But also, actually, just to say, backtrack a little bit, before I ever stepped foot in a gym, because I completely forgot to miss this point, and this is back there a little bit, I started working out at home because I was too intimidated to go to a gym. So I was working out at home for a good year, I want to say, before I ever stepped foot in a gym. And I was just doing, you know, we have some weights at home, so like you can buy weights for really cheap, you can, and you only need a couple of them. But I was just doing workouts in the kitchen on a mat, like, you know, like a yoga mat with some weights, and I just put some music on and just do a little routine. And I did that for a year, and I actually did see a lot of results, and that was something that worked for me, because going to the gym at that point wasn't an option financially and wasn't an option mentally. And I think that's something that I actually get asked a lot from you guys, is like, what do you do if you can't go to a gym? You don't need to go to a gym to work out. There are so many different forms of exercise.
I used to have a mini trampoline.
Yeah, I know. You can work out at home though, just using your own body weight, you know? And, or like, even things like all my ab routines, I don't use weights in them even, you know? So like, you don't need, just because on Instagram and all you see all these like lifting weights and you don't have to do that.
And a lot of them do all these stupid flowery movements because like it's just not that glamorous and interesting. Like the basic movements are like a squat with a barbell, a deadlift, a bench press. They're like the 3 core powerlifting movements, and then there's obviously a lot of other things such as like, you know, bicep curls, these things. Like there's just a few movements, but like you see all these gobshites on Instagram trying to like combine 3 or 4 weird different workouts, but they're doing the same motion. It's working the same muscle in the same way. And I think, you know, get your information from quality sources, and don't buy into all of the, like, you need all of these weird contraptions and machines and things like that, because you really don't. Just move.
But with me, like, I think, like, with my journey, the only point where I actually stayed consistent, so, like, I'd say I've been consistent about the same time as you, like, about 2.5 years, like, where it's not like, oh, we'll do it for a few months and we won't do it then for the next 5, you know. But I think the only time where something changed is when I, in my head, realised that fitness and exercise is a lifestyle.
Yes.
It's not just something you do to see a result or for a short time.
It's like
or
when
for
people
half
talk
the
about
year.
like going on a diet.
Yeah, it's crap.
That you come off. Like we all
healthy
have a
eating
diet,
is a lifestyle.
but yeah, your diet is your lifestyle. But like going on a temporary diet is something that ends, and like that's why I don't like when people are like, oh right, I'm starting this new workout plan, and then when they get to the end of the plan they just give up and they don't do anything. It's just, that's stupid. Like sometimes that it does happen where I get really, really busy, and in those 2 weeks I'll be like, right, I'll just go for a walk every day, or I'll do like a 15-minute high intensity interval training workout in my bedroom, and it's literally like burpees and, you know, squats and like planks, and it's just stuff that you do at your body weight. Exercise is accessible for anyone. You don't have to have money, you don't have to have a gym membership.
No. Being honest, okay, so I kind of do be between like Dublin and then like my home. When I'm at home, because I live in such a little town, my only really option is to do home workouts, because I don't really have access to a gym because I don't have a car. And you know, that's it. It's just, you know, not then just being like, oh, I can't get to a gym, so I'm not going to bother doing anything. But then at the same time, like, even me now, you know, if I am having a really, really bad day and I just can't drag myself to work out, I just won't beat myself up over it, you know, as I used to do that when I first started working out. Like when I first started consistently working out at home, if I didn't do a workout, my whole mood would be ruined, because I'd be like, you failure.
Beating yourself up.
You failure. You couldn't even do that thing. But it's fine.
Oh yeah, no. We all have days where you're just not arsed.
And like,
you know?
I think that's it as well. Like people look at me and they're like, how do you do this all the time? How are you so motivated? It's like, I'm not.
Yeah.
I am not. Nobody is.
When we say consistency, it's like coming back to it time and time again. Like, you know, like
keeping it up.
Consistency over time is different than consistency in that week. You know, it's over time, like long periods of time. And take it back to why you're doing it. Like, look at, you know, lifting weights as a woman. We both want children. Like, I want to have a 4-year-old that I can carry around the place. I find the gym movements are very functional for real life. Like, for, you know, if you're moving house, if you're doing anything like that, like, you can actually utilize those skills in real life, and they make you feel strong.
It makes me feel safer when I'm out on my own as a woman.
Yes.
That if anything was to ever happen, because before I ever started working out, so take it back to even when I was like 17, I was, or even like 18, I had no muscle. I would not have, like, if somebody attacked me.
You were like Bambi. Like, you'd stand up and you'd fall down.
But, like, I didn't have any muscle, and, like, I didn't do a lot of exercise. So, you know, I never felt like I was able to protect myself. Whereas now I do, like, you know, like, she got fucking... Yeah.
There's no better feeling than knowing that your choices over time are like, you know, because fitness and self-care they go very hand in hand. It's like loving yourself enough to do things that, you know, they might be temporarily difficult, but they give you long-term benefits, long-term gain. They make your brain a happier place to live.
Take care of your body.
They make you feel so much more capable in your life. Like, even to be able to go and climb a mountain with your family, or like go for a run for charity to raise money, like, that gives you such a sense of pride in yourself. And I think that's something that is missing so much from all this fucking diet culture talk and all of this just nonsense about, like, you know, looking a certain way. Like, yes, we all have like these aesthetics that we quite like, or different people like different things. Like, I have a friend, Kaya, and she really likes like really, really thin look, you know, like, and then other people might much prefer, you know, this kind of like massive boobs, tiny waist, massive bums. Like, everyone has the different preferences in how they like themselves to look. At the end of the day, fitness, it's not completely related to just how you look. Like, yeah, it can affect it, but, you know, when I'm pregnant, I'm still going to work out. If I ever end up like a fair bit heavier than I am now, which I will, because my metabolism will slow down, I'm still going to work out, because it gives you so much benefit.
Something else that is a question I get a lot in related to fitness is, like, you know, keeping on track, and like that I struggle with keeping on track. But I think, like, a lot of people get disheartened if, like, they miss a week or they miss a couple weeks, or, you know, like, you know, even like life happens, like if someone dies, or, you know, just things are thrown at you where you fall into, you know, you just kind of have dips and ups, but you need to remind yourself that it's a journey, and that's what it's
not linear.
That's what I have. Only when I realised that and got that into my head did I stay consistent? Is that it's a journey, and you know, if you lose your track, it's fine. You can just jump right back on the goddamn track. The track isn't going anywhere.
I'm going to actually use this as a moment to like plug my Me Time journal collection, because I designed those so that they're not dated, the pages, because that was one thing that used to really freak me out and stress me out if I was ever keeping like a diary and using that as a place to like track my workouts, like what I did that day or what I ate. Like I don't track my calories or my macros, but I like to keep on top of like, am I eating healthy? Am I eating enough to fuel my exercise and stuff? If I don't do it for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I can still just open it and start again, because the pages don't have a date on them. Yeah. That kind of thing just really irks me. But like, yeah, I find like holding myself accountable by writing it down, and like just tell people in your life as well what your goals are, and talk to people about them, because when you put it out there, you're more likely to stick to it, I think.
Yeah. But I kind of think that is our fitness journey kind of summarised, while also kind of, I don't know, giving you guys some answers of some questions that you do kind of have for us.
Yeah. But let us know if you'd like us to do, I don't know, like a workout videos or just anything like
we
that.
We could
together.
do like a video together, like maybe like you doing my routine or me doing yours, or we could do something fun like that. We also filmed a video over on Melanie's channel, which was a Q&A, so you should definitely go and check that out. We covered a range of different topics, and I actually really, really, really liked the video, so I think you guys will enjoy it too. So I'll leave that link below, and yeah, we'll see you guys for
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here, and we'll see you very soon.
Day.
Bye.